Good evening, it's Pastor Allen again. I'm coming to you right now with part 4 of the series, Being the Head and Not the Tail. And I'll begin reading where I left off on verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and toward his wife, toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left. He had nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which had not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. God right now is talking about how you will be in a siege far as a war, and you will be a compass on every side. You'll be surrounded on every side, and you'll be pinned in where you would go into a situation of starvation, where you would kill your own children and their own sons and daughters for meat. You will do anything possible instead of starve. You will destroy your own children. It says that the child that comes from between the woman's feet is talking about her birth children. And it says that God is going to allow you to be in such distress and such dire straits that he will allow you to have to eat the flesh of human beings. Look at verse 58. And thou wilt not observe to do all the words of the law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name of the Lord thy God. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shalt the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, Would God it were even, and at even thou shalt say, Would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee unto Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. God is showing them right here that in the times that we decide to forsake his law and forsake his teaching and forsake his oracles, we will go into so much turmoil until at the last we will be right back in slavery, just like we had slavery before, but it'll be a different type of slavery. It'll be slavery of finances, slavery of food, slavery of drink, slavery of lands, slavery of comfort. We'll be in so much distress, so much stuff will be going on in our lives that we won't even know. It says right here in 67, in the morning thou shalt say, would God it were evening. In the morning, you're going to dread the morning because you will think of the day before, and you will dread the morning that so much terrible stuff could happen during that day. And then at night, you're going to wish for a morning because you're going to want all the troubles, all the problems, all the sickness, all the debt, all the destruction, all the poverty, and all this stuff to be over. But God is not going to allow it to be over. God said, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Just like we were in bondage in Egypt, where we went and they told us to make brick without straw. They beat us. They made us work day and night. They done all type of things, all manner of evil against us because they felt that we were less than human beings toward our masters. And God said, because you've forsaken his law, now we're also going to be less than human beings to our masters of this day. And I ask you to continue to just look in God's word, read God's word for yourself, study God's word for yourself. And I have just read through this chapter to show you the things that man has taught us is of none effect today, but I just showed you that it is of effect, because if you look in the mirror, look at the news, and look at the Bible, you'll see that God's law is still in effect. May God bless you. The King is coming.